y'all. I'm Alice Neel, and this is, you know, my friend Amy. The other day we were working on her portrait. Well, actually, I don't like to call them portraits. They're a picture of her, and we didn't get it finished because we had an emergency. So I'm glad that you don't mind if I work on a picture while we talk to you. Okay, that's good. Oh, by the way, this over here in this picture frame here. My grandson gave me one of those, what do they call them, the digital, digital picture frame type things, and he made up this, this little slide. So while I'm talking, you can watch that, if you want. You don't have to. So, Amy's, you're going to turn the other way. No, not the chair, you. You were facing that way. Like this, yeah. Yeah, you had that look me. Yeah, there you go.
Like this?
Yeah, you had,
okay.
That's how you.
I don't remember.
I know she didn't wear the same clothes either, but that's okay.
I did this thing.
Yeah.
Not the same shape.
But that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't matter. The essence of the whole thing is coming through, right? When I do a picture of somebody, I like to talk to them and converse with them and find out how they feel about things. Like Amy and I have been chatting, and I think that it comes through in the painting. I think her soul's going to come through in his. I don't know. I'll try to talk to you about it as we do it, but I'm not sure how much that's going to work. Huh? We'll work on it. Huh? See. Last time you were talking a little bit about school, about how you were, you were going to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the school that you're going to?
Oh, it's called Southwestern College. It's
I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry, that's not gonna. That's not gonna
for
help?
For me, school's about self-exploration, opening my world beyond all the stuff that I thought I knew. It's like becoming a child again. And it's opening up all different parts of myself that have always been there, but were kind of covered up by the way things are supposed to be in this world.
That makes sense. Makes sense. There are a lot of things have gone on in the world since I, first started painting. I noticed that a lot of women are being, they're not as suppressed as they used to be.
I noticed that in school.
When I was in art school, it was basically it was in Philadelphia, and it was the women's art school, and it was all women, but the dean was a man. Which, didn't make sense to us, but, it's like the dean was a man. I do remember that when I was about 20 is when women were first allowed to vote. I remember when they had the riots and stuff in the 60s. A lot of things have gone on in my life. And I never really considered myself a feminist, but I did, think that I did agree with a lot of things that they were working for. I don't consider myself to be like a woman artist per se. I think I'm just a painter. I just paint. I really felt like it's hard to talk about sometimes. The different things that went on in my life as I was growing older. I do know that my family was important to me, even though my art was also. I had it was a rough time when I was, when the kids were little. My boys were little. I had to, I don't like to admit it sometimes, but we had to go on, we were on relief. I was part of the Public Works program. I helped, if the government hadn't paid me to paint pictures of different things, we probably wouldn't have made it, It was a rough time.
Are you married?
I was married, I was married at one time, yeah. I met him at art school during the summer. He was from Cuba. It was good while it lasted, and it ended up not being too, we had a daughter together, and this is really, I really have a hard time talking about it because it was really sad. He took her with him to Cuba to his parents so that we could get some money to go to Paris, and that it was during the Depression, and it ended up, he took her over there, and they wouldn't give him enough money for both of us to go. So he went to Paris without me, and then he ended up just not coming back, He kind of like abandoned me, and kept my daughter over there. Later on, I did go, I did meet her, she did come and visit me a couple times, but the whole incident I ended up having a nervous breakdown. This picture's not coming out the way I wanted it to. We may have to start over another day, but we're gonna work on it for now. Let's see what happens here. I like your hair, but I don't like your skin there. We're gonna have to see what happens. Maybe, may have had something to do with the topic we were talking about. I have a feeling that talking about my husband was not a good idea. We never did get a divorce, divorcing was, I consider that too bourgeois, the whole divorce thing, That doesn't mean that I didn't have other lovers, My sons each had a different father, and I remained friends with these men, afterwards too. It's just, I don't know, just I had to paint, that was the main thing that I had to do with my life. I had to paint. I had to paint people, and I feel like, except this picture, I don't think it worked real well. Most of the pictures that I did that would show, I would get the soul of the person coming through. The pictures are not always beautiful, but they showed the person's, inner core coming through. I'm not too sure I captured yours here.
I get a lot of human suffering coming through in your paintings.
Yeah, I think that's what part of this is here too, I think.
Maybe you're shining.
How are you feeling today? Are you feeling a little sad? Because the way this is coming out is like a little it's a little bittersweetness coming through
Yeah,
or
well, I don't
something.
always show my sadness very much, but maybe you're picking up on some sadness
Yeah,
that's a little
because
underneath everything else.
I'm thinking that this is coming through like a little bit of sadness and stuff coming through. And so I'm not too sure that, it does look like you're sad in this picture. But sadness is part of life too.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we have our good times and we have our bad times. And it's just hopefully at the end of our life, the good times outweigh the bad times. I am very grateful that I did have, my sons actually, did well in life. I have some lovely grandchildren. And for those of you that are interested, my one grandson Andrew, after I died in 1984, he a few years ago he did a documentary about my whole life. So it was kind of like so you know what? I think we're gonna stop on this picture now. Maybe we can look at it again tomorrow and see if we can come up with something better. I don't know. Amy, I really do appreciate you sitting for me. I like that. And thank you all for being here.